there are oil exploration, exploring companies or oil exploration companies. The ones who bring in their own machineries, the equipment, technology, and all of that. So what happened is that Nigeria, for 60 years, same way Nigeria couldn't afford to fund, build, generate, and distribute electricity to homes and industries for 60 years. It's the same way Nigeria and the successive ruiners of Nigeria for 63 years have not really been able to invest in your oil industry. So they turn themselves to rent takers, rent seekers, royalty collectors. And that's why Nigeria will remain poor for a long time. It is, it is doomed to remain poor. Just take a look at all of their actions, okay? Now, I don't know how much Nigeria collects as royalty in total, but my last research said Nigeria collects only 40% of their crude oil sale. So what is that? The oil companies themselves, when they extract the oil, right, they will take their own share. The middlemen and all of that they have intentionally created, who are supposed to be the bureaucrats, representative or chancellors from the part of Nigeria, they are in between. They will take theirs. They have names for all of them. Then the NMPC, which is representing Nigeria, will collect theirs. And from what I heard, it is 40%. Nigeria know they even collect up to 50% of our oil crude. Do you even know that? Did you know that? And every time they tell you Nigeria is oil producing country, Nigeria doesn't produce its own oil. Nigeria just has oil. And for 63 years, not a single machine was bought by Nigeria. Not any oil field in Nigeria you say, oh, this oil field is owned by the government of Nigeria. No. Did you know that? You've been hearing about Shell. You've been hearing about, what are those names again? Give me those names. You know, a lot of you are like, Nigeria is a rich country. We're not supposed to be poor. Are you paying attention at all? Nigeria is created to be the high concentration or the largest concentration of the poorest people. You are supposed to be poor. So you were just not supposed to be this poor. But your elites, they grew greedy, very greedy. Do you understand? You're not supposed to be this poor, you're supposed to be poor. Structurally, that's how it is. Every successive criminals that led Nigeria ensure that, structurally, you will be poor. The countries that you are comparing yourselves with controls their resources 100%. Nigeria doesn't. And that is why they will kill you if you don't allow all of their own, Western imperialist friends to come and take the resources in your community. They will kill you. They are not interested in advancing their own technology to extract their own resources in Nigeria. No, Nigeria doesn't. They are not interested in that. There are so many of you who studied geology. You know about resources, you know about soil, you know about land and the rest of that. Thank you, Jerry. So all they have to do is to go and look for one Nigerian who is going to be the member of their board. And then they will be exploring oil in Nigeria. Even if they have to give the oil company Nigerian name, that doesn't mean that the technology, the expertise, the everything that they are using to explore oil in Nigeria is brought from Nigeria or owned by Nigerians. No. Now sharing, now share, everybody to collect their share. If you are smart enough, if you own oil block too, go and look for where there is oil. You suspect there is oil. Meet with the criminals in charge of Nigeria. Let them give you a license. Go abroad. Go look for any Oyibo or any companies that are ready to go into exploration. Make a deal with them. They'll give you 10%. Give Nigeria 40%. They keep the rest. Period. So all you have to do is once you have the license, you put up the name and all of that. And as you have the license and your friend in power, right? You can just probably live 365 days holidaying. You don't have to work again. The only thing that will stop your free flow of money is if the another person don't take over the government and they want their own friends to take over your oil field. And you'll be like, they want to take my oil field. I'm going to court in a lawless country. Is that not how they do Nigerian resources? That's how they do it now. I don't know if I'm kind of saying something that is new. It shouldn't be something new. Do you know that when they say Nigeria is oil producing country, it's actually a lie? Nigeria doesn't produce our own oil. Nigeria doesn't extract our own oil. Nigeria only collects rent on the oil, which means for 63 years, Nigeria has not even benefited 50% of the crude oil that they were taking from Nigeria for 63 years. Do you know that? Did you know that? Okay. If you didn't, then maybe I have done something, something nice, like it's a discovery, right? Russia and the rest of them, yes, they may not be taking 100% of their own oil and gas, but of course they are not taking 40%. And that is why under Buhari, this became very clearer. They became greedier. And in their way, they started making policies that are tailored around protecting their interest against those who want to come and take that thing from them. It is our turn. Let's guide it very well. Oh. See this crude oil, remember that there are those before us. So we need to guide it very well. Let's make laws. Let's tell them everybody will get their share. But we can manage this, our oil. It's only the proceed. They are not interested in investing that's why you cannot refine your crude oil. Assuming Nigeria invested in oil exploration, oil exploration in Nigeria in the last 63 years. I'm talking about if you go to Russia minefield, oil fields, you will see Russian technologies there. You will see Russians, generation of Russians that have been working, extracting oil in Russia. If you go to Saudi Arabia, you will see generation of Saudis, right, that have been working, and their technology, including American technology, because America really survived on Saudi oil, and Saudi got a very great deal from them. But what I'm saying is that even if the oil producing countries in the world are not taking 100% of their own resources for themselves, due to, like other investment and all that, but I bet they are not taking less than 50% of their own resources. Have you seen any? So you are programmed. You are prepared to be poor. And that is why today you have so many Chinese all over Nigeria. Majority of them, by record, they are supervisor in Chinese plastic making factories. But not lie. These are now supervisors at different mining sites across Nigeria, protected by the Nigerian criminal police, criminal military, providing security for those who came to steal your resources. But for Nigeria, they started making laws. We need to make laws and make sure that anybody, yes, we welcome you, come and take our resources. We have so many things you can take. We don't even know what to do with them, but we know they are money. If you are willing to pay us, so they started making regulations. They are not interested in developing technology at all to actually, utilize those resources to their own advantage. No, because they are rent seekers. These are people who are planning your country. That is why today they go everywhere telling the world, come and invest. We have this. And so many communities in Nigeria are suffering terrorism today. And a lot of people are wondering, but why? Why are we suffering terrorism? But we are not this now, not knowing that because they are currently working on treasure that somebody has used technology to discover from far away China, and therefore took all the risk it's going to take to travel to the place where they don't really like them. I know, some of you don't like them too anyway, but yeah, they don't like you. Okay? So we travel down there and tell them that we are coming there to come and invest in their country when you are not. Your forests are being, the forest, the trees in your forest are being felled every day by people that will never try same in their country, because the ruiners of Nigeria, they are rent seekers. If you can pay the money, it is everybody's turn then, right? This is my turn. I must make money. The person who was here before me, I heard that by the time when he first came in, he had no bicycle. By the time he spent 3 years here, he already has about 20 houses, 5 cars, 4 wives, 15 children. And at the same time, he has other businesses too from the proceeds of corruption. So if I need to prove him that I can do better than that. Maybe 10 hotels, 20 houses, maybe 6 wives. Don't get greedy, okay? Maybe, so they have all the targets and say, if anybody can pay the price, I am ready to play the game or play the ball. That's what is going on with your oil and gas in Nigeria. It's a free for all. Free for all. So free for all means that, majority of those who are claiming that they are planning something for you, when you pay attention very well, these policies, no, they are like, it's like opening shop. Job for the boys. Student loan. Where is the money going to come from? Oh, it's going to come from the 1% of crude sale in Nigeria. Okay, how much is the crude sale in Nigeria? Can you give us a figure? How much is that 1% of crude sale? And by law, can you even take that out and say you want to? What happened to the 2% student tax? No, sorry, education tax. Do you know there is a federal tax in Nigeria called the education tax? All the operational companies in Nigeria, they must pay 2% of their turnover, their profit before tax, 2% to support education in Nigeria. Do you know that money is so massive that pot alone, I don't know about it today because a lot of businesses have already folded up. So they are losing, declaring losses. I don't think that money will be much now. But do you know that at a point, this seed from these companies in Nigeria, 2% to support education, to support it. You do know that this seed every month alone was generating over 200 billion at a time. I am serious. 200 billion times 10. Is that not 2 trillion? Times 2 again. Is that not 400 billion? That is 2.4 trillion. 2.4 trillion. Majority of you don't even know about it. If I ask you where is the money now, you probably have no idea. Me too. And I don't know what happened to we all know what happened to the money. Imagine where you have companies alone. That's a number. That's a number you can work with. If now the 2% education tax alone, they put towards student loan, you can track it. You can track it. You can say, oh, so every time as a student, if they tell you that business is folding up, you'll be sad because you know now the balance inside your student loan, they reduce. So when the government says, oh, congratulations, we've generated 400,000 jobs this month because more than 10,000 businesses signed up and they opened shop. So that has generated 400,000 jobs. Say, I want 10,000 businesses. 2%. And you say student loan money go up with that. That is traceable. But when they hang it on money from crude oil and gas, you can tell that they just want to deceive you. It is like giving you building castle in the air. The moment you hear oil and gas money, your head go just implode like that, explode. Do you know how much money is 1%? Baba, how much is the 1%? Mayegun, you are asking me this question. You know how much? You do know how much money is? If they convert, the question we are asking you is a straightforward one. You do not need to ventilate. How much is the 1% every month from crude oil? But you do have no information on that. You can only speculate and imagine. And imagination won't finish majority of you. Imagination. Mayegun, do you know that? Do you know how much more crude oil in Nigeria? Nigeria is selling 1.5 million crude oil every day. Do you know how much is a barrel of crude oil? Baba, thank you for the TED talk. Okay, you must have done your research, Abi. You know how much is a barrel of crude oil. You know how much crude oil Nigeria is selling every day per barrel, Abi. 1.5 million times $100. That's a lot of money, Abi. Oh yeah, how much is the 1%? Yourself do the math. You know what I mean? Gate. Because that's how many of you actually live your life. When they say it, you have no capacity for critical thinking to actually ask questions that could make all their lies fall flat, bagam in front of you. And you will just probably just laugh. Erinka. Student loan. How? How? There are those who believe that if no, I mean, Bokwari fed the poor. Bokwari fed the poor. There are those who believe that because they saw people who collected bag of rice, those who collected money, they have their pictures. It's everywhere. But when you now ask them, where is the register and the record of the money and the people they gave the money to? Do you know there is no record and register of that? All of that money. All of that money. All of that money. Gone. No record. And that is why you will never have any record for this too. Because the scam is, is plain. But where you will know that all animals may be equal, but you should know that some animals are more equal than the others. The same House of Representatives today, ladies and gentlemen, also passed the increment in the salaries of the Nigerian judges. When was it that day when we were talking about 104% increase or increment on the salaries of judges in Nigeria announced by Tinubu sometimes in July 2023? Just about 6-7 weeks after the illegitimate regime was sworn for. That's when they swear for him. It was around maybe 6 weeks. Tinubu announced a salary increment for all of the public officials, 104% increase. Now, let me explain that. Imagine you are earning 50,000 naira. What is the 50% of 50,000 naira? What? 25,000 naira. That is the half. Half is 50%. Okay. So what is 100% of 50,000 naira? 100%. 50,000. So if I increase your salary by, let's say you are earning 100,000, I decided to increase your salary by 100%. What does that mean? It means I'm going to pay you extra 50,000. I mean, extra 100,000. Abi? 100% of 100,000 is 100,000. 100% of 1 million is 1 million. 100% of 2 million is 2 million. Abi? So when you double it, it will be 4 million. 100% of 100% increase of 1 million is going to take it to 2 million. I think I'm still right. So man, no go there, because I'm very terrible in arithmetic, honestly. Am I actually really terrible? I think I'm good. I worked for Sky, guys, and I always have to play with numbers all the time. 75 pounds. How did you know that? I just do. Everything 137 pounds and 90 pence. How did you know that? I just do. Did you use a calculator? No. Because I know the price of this, price of that, price of that. And when you do it and do it and do it and do it again and again and again, it becomes so easy and so natural. Like, it's just like, I still consider myself a very poor, student of arithmetics, right? I think I am right. So I don't want to continue. I don't want to progress in error. Say, Mayegun, read the comment. Mayegun, you are wrong. 100% of 100,000 is not 100,000. Mayegun, please. And then I will read the comments. Oh my God, I've been progressing in error. And that is what majority of Nigerians love to do. They hate it. When they have confidently said something that is not right, then they will double down. Even if it is not 100,000, but at least I'm close. Baba, you are not close. You are wrong. But at least I try. Baba, you not try. You are wrong, sir. Just say you are wrong. So that's why I didn't want to progress in errors. Thank you very much. So if I am wrong, then I'm not the only person wrong. All of them will agree with me. Say 100% of 100,000 naira is another 100,000 naira. If we say increase in 100%, it means extra 100,000. If you are earning 200,000 and I increase your salary by 100%, right? That means extra 200,000. That makes it 400,000. So when Tinubu came in, Tinubu borrowed money. And that was, first 800 billion. The second time, 1.2 billion, 1.2 trillion. That's a 2 trillion. I mean, like that. Then the third time, it was a 4 trillion, $3 billion. But the first batch was that they needed money to cushion the effect of subsidy removal. Things were tough for the judges in Nigeria. They were suffering. So Tinubu announced, as a vote of thanks, Eshegon, thanks so much, all of my judicial bandits. Now the drug addict and the drug baron and the drug lord is now the president of the giant of Africa, supposedly. So as a sign of thanks, appreciation, Tinubu announced increment. They said, how can a judge be earning 400,000 naira a month? How? Do you know that the Chief Justice of Nigeria is only earning 600,000 naira? How? That's so sad. 100% increase. Immediately, the Chief Justice of Nigeria's salary increased to 1.2 million plus other things. I'm using him as a template because it's massive, right? That's what they told you. But these are criminals. These are real born criminals, right? So they increased. Everybody screamed, what is all of this? We are suffering. Everything is hard. Tinubu is increasing salary. You are so heartless. Innocent you. They started paying them because how could a judge be earning 400,000 naira, 600,000 naira? That's not good. But what about us that is earning 30,000 naira? Are you a judge? Maybe you should go and be a judge. Even a Sharia judge can become a Chief Justice of Nigeria. So, can the problem? Go and become a Labule. Go to your village. They settle matter for them. Small time, they go make you small village judge. Apply, enter Nigeria system. You don't need certificates. Tinubu printed his own certificates online. Remember, there's a third vendors, they sell certificate when you graduate from America. In Tinubu's time, certificate no really matter. So why do you need a certificate? Go and print yourself one. Give yourself a title. Robe yourself up. And who knows, you may benefit from this. Because as it is, Tinubu is grateful to the judiciary. And as he is rewarding them left, right, and center, even if he has to borrow money, devalue your currency, further adding your hardship, doesn't matter. You have to take care of the judges. It's important for the national security, for the national growth. Judges must be taken care of by the drug lord and his 48 thieves. So you didn't do anything, did you? Nothing. So now the House of Representatives received another memo from Tinubu that this time around we need to make it into law. Because we cannot allow all these judges to suffer. They are suffering, They're suffering far. They are suffering of soil lawyering and all that stuff, bullshit, right? So Tinubu seek the House of Representatives approval to make it law. So they've passed the bill into law now that will then increase the salary of the Chief Justice of Nigeria to over 1,000%, over 1,000%. Now, Chief Justice of Nigeria, the one I'm using as a template, will now be paid as basic salary. Basic now will be 5.7 million naira a month. And I think that's going to be, is that not going to be like about 70 million naira a year? Well, that's just the basic, because you also have the office allowance, the wardrobe allowance, the security allowance, newspaper allowance, medical allowance, medical travel, extra code for abroad training allowance. All these allowances, when they put them together, the Chief Justice probably will still tell you, everything, when they put everything together, it's only just about 21 million that they collect. Do you know how much a senator is collecting? Over 50 million in a month. So why are you alarmed? Why are you angry? Well, Nigeria don't get money to pay for all of this. Who told you? The only money that is not available is, Nigeria is going to go bankrupt. if they should increase the salary of your parents, all right? If they should increase your salary, Nigeria cannot survive it too. Economically, by the economic section, so and so of the Bodman's law. The Bodman's law of economy says you cannot sustain a country by paying this and that. So let's forget it. You know something? Let's just pray that our politicians they have fear of God and care for us, and pray to God to make sure that the 30,000 naira is enough, even though it's not enough. But God will provide for us, because if we love this Nigeria, you will not ask that they should pay you better salary. See these people that they are paying. You need them for you to have a fresh, to have a breath. You say, oh, yes, it's important. For the sake of Nigeria, judiciary must, for the sake of, but we cannot pay you more. Like, it's going to wreck Nigeria. Nigeria is already going through a lot. And you see those who are going to come and explain that to you. And you'll be like, it's true. They told us that in economics, inflation is an act of where there is too much money in circulation, but there is not too much goods to afford. As Ocean economics, these ones don't care about economics. They are printing money every now and then. Sheri, that economics, see one kind. They read it too. That one you are reading, they read the same thing too. The curriculum of where they are socially conditioning you to be saying that nonsense. See all this theory, economic theory, economic this or that. This one is going to, if you do this, it's going to cost this. If you do that, it's going to cost that. Blah, 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 blah. All those things you read in the book, right? Continue reading them. These Olori Brukus they don't give a firm about anything. They print money. They loot it. Okay? They smuggle things into Nigeria. All those things that you would normally say in economics, they said they don't give a damn about your economics. All you have is Buharinomic or Tinubunomic, which is the voodoo economic. I'll go say thank you to this my super chatter, by the way. So thank you very much, Festus Oshifelso. You're amazing, Baba. I'm going to read your super chat. It's a long one. Mayegu, there is a book called A Fatherless People, written by a British Nigerian historian, lawyer, author. The content is there. The content in there are very explosive for us Nigerians to comprehend. I would wish your audience check the book on YouTube. Daily Ogun. Now you have heard it all. Okay. And now that you have brought it to my own attention, I am also going to go get one, read it, and possibly even read it with you here. Listen, there is this book, Why We Struck. Ademoyega Adewale. It's a very popular book. Okay. It tells in detail the historical context of why the first coup happened and who took part in the coup and why. So I was supposed to get that before now, but somehow there's a bit of a delay. So if I lay my hands on that book, sir, Festus, I am going to possibly bring it here for everyone and encourage everybody to also probably get it. And for those who can't, then I'll read it for them. Yeah, I'll read it to you here. But by the way, thank you very much for that. Okay, that's very kind of you. Appreciate it. So yeah. So it's easier to tell when they are lying to you. But it's so sad for many. It's so hard rather for many to accept the truth that is staring them in the face, that they would rather believe the lie, because it's going to be too hard for them to accept that the truth that this is not. Are you saying this is not real? So yeah, it's not real. Everything pointing to it shows that it's not real. All these policies and all of them, yeah, they are just smoke screen for something sinister, something worse that is happening behind the scene. And you cannot let the smoke block your screen. Your screen is your sense, okay? Their smoke is lies, propaganda, and some make-believes. So when you ask yourself, how come this thing no can work out? Because it was never to work out. So fraud. Somebody like myself would never stop reminding you of that. It's so important that I remind you of it every now and then. Because the more people get to understand these people, maybe the harder and tougher it's going to be for them to keep using the same, doing the same thing again and again. It's the same trick, it's the same way, by same people, sometimes different faces, but just same people, same mindset. There is nothing called student loan. It's just a pure scam. So the same guys who told you that they are building an economy, there's nothing like we are trying to get the economy back. Their actions. I'm talking about not what they are saying, what they are doing. Every now and then continue to point to what? That what they are saying is in total opposite of what they are doing. They do not believe in all of this, your own theory, and you like they are talking to you and you are listening to them and say, I understand. I understand what this is trying to say. You don't understand anything. There were those who were so confident that, Emefiole that they knew. Emefiole was a brilliant guy. He's a brilliant this. He's a brilliant that. They watched Emefiole as well as